Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in on another important part of the recovery journal, and that is the section entitled, What Have I Been Procrastinating About? What have I been procrastinating? If you realize procrastination is a way to avoid taking responsibility and accountability for our emotional health, well being, and our relationship status. If you are procrastinating, you are putting off. You are using defense mechanisms to keep you unaccountable or separated from the work that you should be doing or the changes that you should be making. This is called procrastination. Procrastination is a very important way that people begin to delay living their life. They put their life on pause. They essentially put themselves in a backward spiral or feeling, always putting off, putting off to tomorrow what can't be done ever. I mean, they just continue to put it off. I mean, if you can think of all the different things you've ever procrastinated about in your life, chances are it would be a pretty long list. But if you had gotten in touch with some of the things that you had been procrastinating, perhaps it would be, and written it down and have it in front of you so you can see it moving forward, looking at you in the face saying, I've been procrastinating this, then, to doing this, then it would be perhaps beneficial and easier for you to tackle that list. So, what have I been procrastinating about would be, a good section for you to write in your recovery journal. And, procrastinating is something important that you do not want to get into a habit of. So the next section is let's see. What have I been procrastinating? What have I been procrastinating about? Procrastinating about. So write it at the header of your section. Again, you can, get a notebook like this with 5 sections and start a new section. Flip it to the front page. Entitle the section, What Have I Been Procrastinating? And I am working on a book and some other new ideas to develop as some real cohesive tools to help people get through narcissistic and psychopathic abuse. And I don't know if it's just going to be an ebook. I really would like it to be a brick and mortar book or just something, because I do feel that which you can touch, you have more resonance and a relationship with. It has more of a vibration versus just like a Kindle or an ebook. So I really would love to make it into a paperback or hardback book. I'm still debating about that, but these are some of the things that are going to be in my new book. So I think I want to give you these tools though, so you can start to use them, but I will be getting them in an organized format so you can kind of have them all in one place. And so the next section is, what have I been procrastinating? So, going out with new types of people. Going out with new types of people. So this is in essence like a workbook. Going out with new types of people. So if you found that you're constantly going out with violators and perpetrators, people who are troublemakers, people who are abusers, people who sexualize, people who tend to, devalue you and discard you after the idealization phase, you find that you're constantly attracting these types of people, the bad boy, the bad girl, the druggie, the addict, the alcoholic, the rageaholic, If you're finding you're attracting this crowd, you need to get into a new crowd. You need to surround yourself with a different circle of influence. You need to be around better and different people. And by better, I mean people who are not going to be abusing you. It's not saying that these people are less than, they have their own place in the world. And we're not trying to change them or, say that these people aren't valuable, because they are. They have their own situations, and we learn a lot from them, etc. So it doesn't mean that you have to have a downtrodden life because that is all you have surrounded yourself with. So it's important that you look at, what have I been procrastinating, and write these things down. It can be, clearing out the clutter of your mind, clearing out the clutter of your home, getting rid of some of the old things that used to be possessions of this abuser, and getting them out of your house, getting them out of your life. Because if they're still in your house, they're still creating an influence on you. So you need to get them out of your life, out of your situation, out of your business. Because if you keep them around, you're basically giving it permission to still have control and power over you. And if it's a negative or deleterious effect, then you only have yourself to blame as you become accountable. Remember, the narcissist or psychopath would hitherto have you close your eyes to your own magnificence and greatness. They would love to take credit for everything that you have, do, or become. They're going to all tie it into them, even though when you have the credit, it is you, but they will turn things around and make it feel it's like about them. So remember to start tackling those things that you have been procrastinating. Have you been procrastinating going on your recovery date? Have you been procrastinating about doing your recovery journal? Have you been procrastinating about cleaning up your diet? Have you been procrastinating about going to the doctor when you know that you should? Have you been procrastinating about going to the dentist? Have you been procrastinating about giving attention to your spiritual life? Have you been procrastinating about changing up your wardrobe? Are you still, in the old wardrobe or something that makes you feel uncomfortable? Get rid of these things. Stop procrastinating. Do you still have a lot of old papers around? A lot of old notes at this pertinent, do you have like 2 or 3 phones where, there's like old texts around from this person that's still keeping a negative influence on you? I understand how important it is to have some information from the abuser around, so it kind of like reminds you of what you went through and that you don't want to repeat it. So I do understand that. But if you have copious amounts of their clothing or their items or gifts that they gave you, it's the environment still has their impact. You need to surround your environment now with more items that you have personally selected and chosen and that are of value to you and not only of value to the abuser. You are living out of your own values. You are living out of your I am, and not the values and opinion of an abuser or a psychopathic individual who is seeking to undermine you, uproot you, and cause you harm and mayhem. It's very important. Work on your procrastination. What have I been procrastinating? Make this a new section of your recovery journal. Itemize it out with all the different things that you've been procrastinating and tackle them. Even if you're taking 15 minutes to deal with it. Have I been procrastinating going out with new types of people? Okay, well then, if that is your procrastination, then how do you tackle it? How do you approach this? Well, maybe, when you're out and about, and you see one of your coworkers, invite them to a coffee, bring them a coffee, bring them a magazine, do something that is proactive to meeting new types of people. Go to a new spiritual center, go to a new church, go to a new workshop, go to meetup.com and get yourself in with some new people. You don't have to become an expert in their crowd. You can go in to observe, you can go in to listen, you can go in to receive. It's very important on your recovery your recovery and your recovery journey to learn to receive. So rather than having to take care of others all the time, it's very important to take care of yourself and learn when it's time to receive